Hello fellow enthusiasts. As you know, I'm an Astro van enthusiast, the first generation in 1994 LT-EXT that I'm first owner, and I've owned it since it was new and I love it. We shopped a long time before we bought it. I'm trying to bring it back to daily driver status, and this is Dennis Sietsma Productions, Homestead, Florida, USA. I'm in the Redland Farm area on a tropical fruit grove. I've got major drivetrain problems with clunking and weird noises, belt on or belt off with the engine. I'll get to that in a minute. But I'm going to walk around the van, and to try to stop the water coming in, I gooped it up with flex paste, even though that's not an approved product. But I've been working to repair the fuse block so I can get the power windows working again, and I'm happy to report success this morning. Give you a quick walk around on the van. And no accidents with this one, fortunately, but yeah, I need to do some body work on it, and I'm trying to find a shop, but they're also expensive and hard to find the ones that do rust repair. But to start out, let me say I did fix the power windows. I repaired the load side of the WDO PWR. Turn the ignition on and then show you that the power windows work. Both sides work now. On the load side, the pin broke, so and I believe it'll start and run. Let me see. I got another broken pin on the ECB1 fuse that I plan to repair next if I can. See if it starts. You hear that noise from the engine. Now this does it with belt on or belt off. And I'm going to attack it from the upper end first. But anyway, getting back to the fuse block, I was lucky that I started working on the load side, because apparently on the power side of the fuse block, it's like a grid in the back, like a computer mainframe grid. And I found when I inspected the pins, and let me pull this out, I can show you that it's a new pin there on the left. New pin on the left. I found if you massaged it with a small instrument like small screwdriver, you could see the pin move, that it was broken, just flopping around there. It wasn't pinching the fuse holder like it should. So of course, to repair this, I had to get the parts. So I found online, somebody gave me a tip. Let me move over the other side of the van, it's easier to see. Well, later I found I could use the pins, steal these out of a Dorman kit, but I'll talk about that in a minute. Speedway motors, somebody gave me a tip, 22 bucks. Came with the pin and the pin extractor. Unfortunately, I misplaced the pin extractor, or the pin terminal removal tool, however you want to call it. But the ATC fuse block repair kit that includes the pins and the pin extractor, I bought from Speedway Motors. Their part number was 910-64003, and it's fine. Now, I don't know how to debate the quality of the pins in the Speedway kit versus the quality of the pins in this Dorman product. And online I bought this. It's a Dorman part number 85668. Black fuse holder, holds 4 blades for like 9 bucks, $8.79 online. So of the two options for pins, I decided to go with the Dorman pin. To me, they looked a little more substantial, but I don't know. They may be equally good between the Speedway motor kit and the Dorman kit. Now, and this is not a kit, this is for adding 4 more fuses to an existing vehicle coming from the switched hot or the hot, the battery plus. So once I had the parts, I had to get the old pin out, and like I said, I used toothpicks because I misplaced the pin extractor that came in the Speedway Motors kit. But I got the old pin out using toothpicks and a little force, being careful not to damage the fuse block. I had to pull the wire out, and good thing I did the load side, because that was actually the easier side. I was able to use hemostats to hold the wire well enough to hold. But the problem with hemostats, these things clamp so tight. I'd like to use some other tool in the future, because this actually clamped it so tight it kind of damaged the insulation. But that didn't matter because I was using paintable vinyl. What the hell is the name of this product? I always get it wrong. It's liquid electrical tape, LET, made by Starbright. I like, and most marine stores sell this. And I painted it, well, let's see, I'm getting ahead of myself. Once I had the wire stripped, I fabricated locally a jumper with the gold pin on one end, and I did that on the workbench. And again, people, this is a video diary. This is not a how-to. This is my ongoing quest to get this vehicle where I can use it again as a daily driver. That's the objective. Not a full restoration, just so it's tolerable, so I can use it for farm work as a daily driver. And you see the relay I added to give me a switch, high current up to 80 amp switched ignition. But it goes to a fused link directly through the vehicle wiring. I cut it at the ignition switch, the hot from the fused link, and ran it to that relay to take the load off the ignition switch that burns out the A pin and give me more current capacity as a switch source. Now, if it had been the hot side of the window ADO, I could have just run a wire over here to this relay I added, or to any switched source capable of handling 30 amps, which there ain't too many left in this, unless you add it like I did. So, and that 80 amp relay also comes in a 200 amp model. Of course, it's more expensive, and it comes with good instructions how to install it. And I bought that online, and I covered all of that in a prior video diary about how I added the relay. But anyway, this is a diary. It's not a how-to. I make mistakes. I show you my mistakes. But I'm real happy how the progress I've made today. And getting to what day is today. It's January 2024, and for more information we go to the clock. It's 10:10 a.m. Eastern Time on the clock. It's the 14th of January 1990, 30 years old this van is, 30 years old, 2024, Sunday. 84 degrees. I think I paid $30,000 for this van, and the reason why anything that will tow 5,000 to 10,000 pounds is being restored is because all the station wagons are gone or too expensive, and anything that'll tow is valuable and could be restored, any old truck or what have you, and they're being restored. But this is a diary of my vehicle. And in future, the next thing I'm going to get into is talking about repairing the flaky intermittent oil pressure sending unit and validating it with a mechanical gauge you can buy online or Harbor Freight or Northern. Very affordable and a good tool to validate what your oil pressure actually is, to find out if that jiggly jumping oil pressure on your dash is real or not, and how to validate it using resistors. I'll get into that in the next video diary, but I wanted to wrap this up as a good repair for repairing the power windows. Now, what I did, boy, every time I start talking, the chickens go crazy. I guess it's feeding time for them. The neighbor's chickens. What I did is I fabricated on the bench the jumper, and then I decided to crimp it onto the lead, my jumper to the lead, and then I used several coats of this liquid insulation, several coats back and front, and then finally wrapped it with some vinyl electrical tape. And then getting the pin to align was not easy because I had to feed it in from the back and I couldn't see it, so took a good flashlight and several attempts to finally get it lined up right and the other things out of the way and actually plug the pin in. And I like this work light. This is a rechargeable and it works really well, so I like that. And at this point I really want to get into the engine noise next. I'm going to take the upper end apart, probably pull the heads and have those serviced. I think I've got oil seals that need replacement, so it needs a valve job. And you know, if the block needs anything, we'll get to that later. But transmission also is a little weak. But before I tear into that, I want to do a video diary as a separate video diary on the oil pressure problem. So I told you the past, what I did today, which is fix the power windows. I think I covered everything. Oh, by the way, on the van groups, look in the media section for the albums I've created with pages from the service manual and all my research. I try to scan in everything so I have it on my computer, not in a book somewhere, and so I can share it with the van groups. I used to put stuff in the files section, but people don't like to open files and it's a little bit chaotic. In the media section on Facebook, you can organize things by subject, like the throttle position sensor or the flaky oil reading, which are common problems with the Astro van, or the improve the ignition switch power so it doesn't burn out when you put the rear fan on high for heat or cool, if you got the dual air like I do on this LT EXT that I bought new. But I may end up having to do this body work myself, and I just don't have the time. I'd love to find a guy working out of his house somewhere that could do the rust repair and do a paint job for me, if I could find somebody that would do it, that has the skills, number one. That's the big problem today, is finding people with the skills. And number two, a price that's within reason compared to, I don't know what. But I just got this car over here painted, the Honda Civic, the 2007, and I ended up going to Mako, and they had a sale at the time. So I got that done for a reasonable price, and the work I think is good. But please subscribe, because I need subscribers. People think I'm being monetized for these videos. I'm not. I don't have 4,000 subscribers. I have 350 subscribers so far. And I have the views. I have over 75,000 views, but I don't have the subscribers. And I can't be monetized, no money, honey, until I get the subscriber base up. And it may never come up to 4,000, I don't know. But I'm doing these videos mainly to help other vanners that want to restore this 1994, you know, in the I think it's 1985 maybe, until 1996 they had the same generation. I think it was 10 years. I could be mistaken. If I am, post a comment, educate me. I may be ignorant on that. But audience, again, as always, thanks for watching. I know I drone on and talk too much, but I'm trying to group learn. And if you know more than I do, please post a comment. If I say something wrong, please correct me. I'm an enthusiast. I'm not a professional. I love help from the professionals. And I've had a lot of professionals work on this over the years, and they teach me a lot. So, but I guess that's all for this segment of the video diary. Again, people, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching.